and welcome back. Today we're looking at the G.I. Joe Tri-Blaster. This is another one of the battlefield robots that we have from the G.I. Joe line back in 1989. Um, this was also available in 1990 and unfortunately was discontinued in 1991, very much like all the other ones here in the 1989 series. Okay, so we don't have very many pictures here, but we do have some pictures of the parts that we have our cannons in the front, as well as our missiles and our antenna array here. And this looks like this is our steering column of some sort. I'm guessing at least. I think it's the steering column and the cannons are all together. So let's see. Actually, no, I think that piece was for our missiles and our antenna. So a little off on that. But either way, getting our information here from yojo.com. There's not a lot of information that they have here, although they do have it listed. We don't have a real retail price. There's no variations on here. I would say if anything's going to be missing, you're going to be missing probably your antenna and your missiles. A possibility of the cannons in the front. Kind of hard to say here, but it's a small vehicle, probably under $5. I'm going to take a wild guess and say that that's probably where it kind of fits in here. Looking at this, I'm going to take a wild guess here that what we see in the corner is a rear view of our Tri-Blaster. And from that, it looks like there might be a little hook on the back, so you could use this to tow something else. I might be wrong. This is not a piece that I had ever had myself, so I can't say from firsthand experience. Okay, so bringing our Tri-Blaster into our D6 universe here, like all the other vehicles, this is at speeder scale. Kind of borrowing this from a lot of the other ones that are very similar to this. So you might see some similar stats here. Okay, so keeping it at a length of roughly about 15 feet, 3 meters long uh, or so. Crew of one, no passengers, about 44-pound cargo capacity. Not really much there for throwing a lot of extra stuff on there, so I figured that that's probably justifiable. One half coverage for our figure or our character inside there. Of course, it is ground level. Maneuverability of 1D plus 2, so a little less than average. Um, Not really certain where to place that. I think if we just leave it at a 1D plus 2, it's not too bad. Um, our movement is at 50 miles an hour or 80 kilometers an hour. The small, fast vehicles, most likely a small recon vehicle, something to quick get in, find out whatever information, and get out of there kind of idea on this. So it's going to have a body strength of 2D. Nothing over spectacular with this. Um, Figuring it's going to be a lightweight, very inexpensive to make vehicle that we can just kind of quick get in, scout, and then get out. That's my thought here. Um, we do have two missiles listed here, although in some I thought I almost saw three, but for sure two missiles. So we'll leave it at two. Um, so just leaving it at that. We do have a fire control of 3D plus 2 and a damage of 7D. And then we have our heavy laser cannon in the front. Now, looking at the one piece, it almost looked like there was three of them. Um, I don't know how you really want to put it. The others might just be for guidance or whatever. So I'm really just leaving it as more of just one. If you want to increase it a little bit, but they don't look like they're as heavy of a caliber, so just to make it easy, I think if we just leave it as a single cannon and that maybe it's a laser guide, like a laser sight or something there, maybe to help the missiles or something. I don't know. However you want to work it. Either way, it is front arc personnel scale. It's a fire control of 1D and a damage of 6D. Now, Again, because it's another one of the battle robots, uh, it does have a crew skill of piloting of a 3D plus one and a gunnery of 3D plus one. So if you really needed it to, you could call it to act on its own or something like that, or use a remote or something like that. So that's kind of my thought behind it and what I've been doing with a lot of the others. It's not anything really spectacular. It's just another one of those little, you know, trial vehicles. Okay, think of it that way. Early designs of something. Do you want to go in that direction? Again, a lot of the stuff in my mind with GI Joe would be we have a small, fast response force that we can try things out and see how it works. And if it doesn't work out very well, then we could say, you know what, let's not put that into our standard military, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Coast Guard, whatever. But it's something that we can throw out and see how it actually acts, behaves, performs, whatever. Seeing that it is a robotic vehicle, maybe it's something that you'd want to try out and then say, yeah, not quite what we want. And it kind of gets discontinued very early on, but something that's out there. So, and of course, for us as kids and for Hasbro to make something small like this, it's wonderful because then we can get a small vehicle to add to our collection, especially for the kids that, the parents don't have a lot of funds to get them a lot of stuff. And it's silly in a way to sit here and say some of these vehicles, bigger vehicles, being like $20, $25, where today that's just one of the 6-inch action figures. Um, but I've said this many times before. It amazes me looking back at how much some of this stuff costs, and physically remembering I had to save up for some of this stuff when this stuff came out. It was a different time. So just keeping that in perspective. Although I will say these are the vehicles that they should be trying to come up with again. Something along this line, something small, not overly expensive, something they could throw out for, say, like 20, $25, the same as what they're charging for the action figures. I'm sure they do really well. Um, I think it's something that people would probably buy quite a few of because it's a vehicle that we can get our figures into to build a collection to put in dioramas, or, you know, maybe you would get the kids to want to play with them, and then maybe we could sit there and then have some fun times reminiscing on our side, but helping the kids play. Uh, vehicles, small vehicles like this would really work very well for that. HasLab has been trying to come up with the big iconic vehicles, which is wonderful in a lot of regards, but you're not going to sell them to the kids. And really, for any company, if you want to keep collectors in the future or whatever, if you can sell this stuff to the kids and you can get it sold to the adults to get it to the kids, you're going to have those future collectors. And I really wish that they would kind of remember some of that. So, with that being said, thanks for stopping by. It's always wonderful having you stop by and visit and see the silliness that we get into for the day. Hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next video.